All right, so today we have a story about a graphic designer. He went from, sleeping on a friend's couch, couldn't make rent, to building this whole thriving business.
Yeah, and it all happened really quickly, too, in just 45 days, all thanks to, well, free AI
It's
tools.
pretty amazing. So let's start at the beginning. So it's 2024. Our guy, Jake, he's in Austin, Texas. He's a 32-year-old graphic designer. And, well, AI comes along and kind of like a lot of creatives, it disrupts everything.
Yeah. And his clients who were once, totally happy to pay him for his work, um, they all kind of flocked to AI because it was faster and, a lot cheaper. And so just like that, Jake's business just dries up.
And it hits him hard, right?
Right.
Not just professionally, but also personally. He's, racking up all this credit card debt, can't make rent. He even has to sell his car. And eventually he ends up, crashing at a friend's place.
Yeah.
And not even in like a spare bedroom or something. He's living in their garage.
And it's a good reminder, I think, that these technological advancements, they can have a real impact,
Yeah.
especially for people whose jobs are affected.
Right. It's a rough situation. But then, just when things are looking really bad for Jake, he sees this Reddit post.
Yeah. He's just scrolling through Reddit, probably on that subreddit, Side Hustle.
Yeah.
And he's just looking for anything, any opportunity. And he finds this post about someone making $5,000 a month using free AI tools.
Now, I think a lot of us, we might see that and think, okay, this is too good to be true and just keep scrolling. But Jake, he's desperate. So he decides to look into it.
And that's when his strategic thinking kicks in. He doesn't just dismiss it. He starts thinking, okay, how could this work for me?
Yeah. So he sees two potential paths. The first is using AI for content creation, and combining that with affiliate marketing,
Yeah.
which is basically getting paid to promote other people's products. And then the second path is using AI for print on demand. So, he'd create designs for T-shirts, mugs, that sort of thing, and they don't get made when someone actually orders them.
Yeah, and what's interesting is that both of these things have been around for a while, but AI has really changed the game because now they're easier to do and, more efficient.
Right. So Jake doesn't need to be a coding expert or, a marketing guru. He just needs the right tools. And luckily, he finds 3 free tools that are perfect.
The first is ChatGPT 5. And this is just hypothetical, but let's say in 2024 there's a free version. So he uses that to write, SEO optimized blog posts and catchy captions for social media.
Gotcha. And the second tool is Canva's AI Designer. Now, I think a lot of people know Canva because of their easy-to-use design templates.
Yeah.
But the AI Designer is like next level. It actually makes visuals from your prompts.
That's right.
And so Jake uses this to create, really eye-catching graphics for his blog and social media.
And then the third tool, which is also hypothetical for 2024, is like a free version of Midjourney. It's this super powerful AI art generator. And Jake uses that to create the designs for his print-on-demand products.
So he's got his tools.
Right.
But he knows that it's going to take more than just AI to make this work. He's got to put in the work.
Yeah.
So we're talking 12-hour days, 7 days a week.
Yeah, he dedicated 4 hours every day to just researching, everything from affiliate marketing strategies to how algorithms work.
Wow. And then he spends another 4 hours creating the content, using ChatGPT to help write the blog posts and social media captions, and then Canva to make everything look good visually.
Whoa. And then the last 4 hours are for optimizing everything. He really digs into things like Google's free SEO starter guide, learns how to use keywords, and figures out all the ins and outs of TikTok's algorithm.
Sounds like a lot of work.
It is.
But it pays off, right?
Well, the first week is tough. His blog has almost no visitors, and he makes like 25 cents. Yeah, you can imagine how discouraging that must have been. All that work for basically nothing. But instead of giving up, Jake does something really smart.
What's that?
He pivots. He realizes that trying to rank for these really common keywords is like trying to be heard in a huge crowd.
Right.
So he finds this free keyword research tool called Answer the Public. And it lets him see the specific questions that people are typing into search engines.
Okay, that's smart.
So instead of trying to rank for something super general like best tech gadgets,
Yeah.
he starts going after specific questions like what's the best gadget for finding my keys?
Ah, I see. He's finding his niche.
Exactly. And it works. He creates this TikTok video and he uses ChatGPT to write the script. The video is about 5 secret Amazon gadgets you've never seen. And it goes viral.
No way. How viral are we talking?
Like 500,000 views overnight.
Wow, that's amazing. So does he become a TikTok star?
Not exactly. The real success comes from the affiliate links he included in the video description. People see the video, they click the links, they buy the gadgets. And every time they buy something, Jake gets a cut.
So how much did he make?
In just 3 days, that one video made him $1,200.
Wow, that's incredible. So this is where things really take off for him, right?
Yeah, it gives him the confidence and the money to do more. He starts doing print on demand, using Midjourney to make funny designs and slogans for t-shirts and mugs.
Like what kind of designs?
Well, like imagine a t-shirt with a picture of an avocado crying and it says, "I survived my 20s and all I got was trauma." Or like a coffee mug that says, "Powered by caffeine and existential dread." Relatable stuff.
Yeah, that's good. So how's he selling all this stuff? Does he build a website?
Not right away. He uses sites like Redbubble and TeePublic, so they handle all the printing and shipping, which means Jack can just focus on making designs and marketing.
Smart. So
Yeah.
is he like rolling in it now?
Not a millionaire yet, but after 45 days, he made a total of $8,200. 5,000 of that was from affiliate marketing, thanks to that viral TikTok video. And then the other $3,200 was from the print-on-demand stuff.
That's amazing. He went from, instant ramen and almost being evicted to paying off his debt and getting an apartment.
It's pretty impressive, right? It shows how resourceful he is, how he was willing to learn new things, and how he didn't give up.
It's really inspiring.
Yeah.
But there's more to the story, right? He doesn't just stop there.
No, he doesn't. He decides to share everything he's learned and help other people who are struggling like he was.
So he starts teaching people.
Exactly. He starts a YouTube channel, and guess what? He uses AI for video editing, too.
That's awesome. What does he tell people?
His message is simple, but powerful. He says, AI won't replace you, but someone using AI will. And he encourages people to embrace this new technology and build their own success. He shows them the tools, the strategies, and the right mindset to thrive.
That's pretty cool. He went from being disrupted by AI to using it to help himself, and now he's using it to help others.
Yeah, it's a great example of how we can adapt and find opportunities, even in the face of big changes.
I love this story. It makes you think, doesn't it? What does all this mean for the future of work? How do we make sure that AI helps people and doesn't leave them behind?
Those are the big questions. We don't have all the answers, but Jake's story gives us some clues.
Okay, I'm all ears. What are some of the key takeaways?
Well, I think the biggest one is that we need to keep learning and be willing to adapt. Embrace new technologies and keep updating our skills.
Right. It also seems like being resourceful is important. Jake didn't have a ton of money to invest, so he had to be creative and find ways to use free tools and information.
Yeah, that's huge. And don't forget about community and mentorship. Jake found support online and then turned around and created his own platform to help others.
So it sounds like AI isn't just about technology. It's about how we use it, how we learn from each other, and how we adapt to all the changes happening around us.
Exactly. And maybe the most exciting takeaway is that even when things are disrupted, there are always new opportunities. It's up to us to go after them.
Jake's story definitely gives us a lot to think about.
Yeah.
I'm curious to see what other ways people are using these free AI tools.
Yeah, that's a good question. And one we'll dive into next. We'll look at some really interesting examples of how people are using AI to solve problems, create value, and even change whole industries.
Sounds cool. Can't wait to hear more.
Me too. It's pretty amazing how he turned, like a really tough time into a chance to not just get back on his feet, but to help other people too.
Yeah, it's like he took this negative experience and actually made something positive out of it for himself, but also for a whole bunch of people.
And that whole idea of community, it's so important. We've been talking about learning new things and being able to adapt, that having people to support you, a place where you can learn from others and share what you know, that makes a huge difference.
Yeah, totally. Jake found that online, on places like Reddit, and then he decided to do the same thing for others by making his YouTube channel.
And think about it, it's like a ripple effect. He's not just showing people how to use these AI tools, he's teaching them how to solve problems and be resourceful.
He's basically saying, look, even if you have to start from zero, even if you think things are changing too fast, you can not only survive, but do really well.
And that's a powerful message, especially these days when people are worried about, what AI means for their lives.
Okay, so we've talked about the good stuff, but are there, any downsides to all this? Are there challenges that come with, everyone jumping on the AI bandwagon so quickly?
That's a good question, and one we should definitely talk about. I think one challenge is that there's just so much information out there. With all these free AI tools, it can be hard to know where to begin or which ones are worth your time.
It's like too much of a good thing, right? So many choices that you end up lost and confused.
Exactly. You got to be smart about it. You need to figure out what you want to do, Then look at the tools, see what their strengths and weaknesses are, and pick the ones that fit your goals.
So don't just use every new AI tool that comes out. Think about it first, Be strategic.
Right. AI is a tool, just like any other. It can be used in good ways or bad ways. It depends on the person using it and what they're trying to do.
Makes sense. So Jake's story is inspiring, but it's not like a magic formula for success, right?
Of course not. Success takes hard work, dedication, and always being willing to learn new things. But Jake shows that it's easier than ever to get started.
Because with these free AI tools, anyone who has the internet and is willing to put in the effort, they can make their own opportunities.
And that's pretty empowering. It means we're not just sitting back and letting technology happen to us. We can be creative, innovative, and build our own things.
So as we wrap up this look at Jake's story, what's the one thing you really want people to remember?
Don't be afraid to try things out. Don't be afraid to mess up. And most importantly, don't be afraid of the possibilities that AI brings.
I like that. So if you're feeling inspired by Jake's story, what's the first thing you should do?
Just start exploring. Look into different AI tools, try them out, and see how they fit into what you want to do.
And don't be afraid to ask for help. There are lots of communities and resources online that can help you along the way.
Remember, AI isn't the enemy. It's a tool. And you can use that tool to build something incredible.
It's wild to think that he did all that in, what, like a month and a half? It really shows what you can do with these tools if you know how to use them.
But it's more than just the tools, right? It's his mindset, He was willing to adapt and learn. And he understood that AI isn't something to be afraid of, but something you can, use to your advantage.
Yeah, for sure. He saw opportunity where other people might have just seen, like, the end of their career. And that's what let him, not just bounce back, but actually do really well.
And I think by sharing his knowledge and helping others, he's contributing to this future where everyone can benefit from this technology, making it more inclusive.
Right, and that's an important point, I think. We hear a lot about the bad stuff with AI, like people losing jobs and the ethical concerns, but Jake's story shows the other side of it, how it can empower people, give them access to opportunities, let them take control.
Exactly. Technology is a tool, right? And like any tool, it can be used for good or bad. It's up to us to decide how AI is used and make sure it helps people, not the other way around.
Okay, so looking forward, what are some things we should be thinking about to prepare ourselves, and future generations for a world where AI is, like, everywhere?
Well, education is huge. We need to give people the skills and knowledge to understand AI, to use it ethically, and to be able to adapt to the changing job market.
So it's not just about, like, learning to code or how to use specific AI programs.
No, it's bigger than that. It's about critical thinking, problem solving, creativity,
Right.
Those are the things that will be valuable in a world where AI is doing the routine stuff and, helping us with more complex things. We need to focus on what makes us human, the things that AI can't do.
And we got to think about the impact on society, too, right? How do we make sure that everyone benefits from AI, not just a select few? And how do we minimize the risks?
Totally. We need to talk about ethics, fairness, responsibility, how can we use AI to make the world a better, more sustainable place for everyone?
All right, so as we wrap this up, what's the one thing you want people to take away from Jake's story and, from our conversation today?
I want people to feel hopeful, AI is a powerful force, but it's not like it's in control. We have the power to shape it, to use it for good, and to create a future where everyone has the chance to thrive.
That's awesome. I like that. And it's a perfect way to end things. Thanks for joining me for this deep dive. It's been a really interesting and thought-provoking conversation.
It's been a pleasure. And remember, the future isn't something that just happens to us. We make it happen together.